Good morning and welcome to the 2023 Morrison Pharmasave Good News Breakfast. I'm your host, Lori Taraba, and joining me at the table for the very first time as my co-host is the Executive Director of Project Share, Pam Sharp. Pam, thank you for joining me this year.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's fun to be on this side of the table this year.
Yeah, usually you're in the back and being a busy bee and making sure that everything goes well, but this year you get to relax and just enjoy the wonderful company we'll see in the next 3 hours.
It's my pleasure to sit here with you this morning, Lori.
We are here live at the Greg Frewin Theatre in Niagara Falls in support of Project Share. Anytime during the next 3 hours, bring an unwrapped toy, a non-perishable food item, and come and enjoy some wonderful breakfast just to be part of our day and know that you're really helping the Niagara community. Pam, what's been happening at Project Share in preparation for this event?
Well, we've been exceptionally busy. Very busy working with the community, getting lots of support leading up today. Our Stuff the Bus Challenge was out this week, picking up from schools and businesses. So it's been a busy time, but a wonderful time as we're getting to see all the people who are supporting our clients.
You know, the one thing that we say about Project Share is the amazing team that you have behind the scenes who are really helping to put this together.
Absolutely. I often call us the Project Share family because we really truly are, and it's been all hands on deck this past week as we've been helping one another. We've had a couple staff off sick, so we've been jumping in and covering for each other, and it really truly is a team effort.
You know, talk about some of the team, and they're actually here with us today. We have Briley Dieter, and she is the fundraising events coordinator for Project Share, but we also have Chris Russell, and he's a supervisor with Niagara Transit, and together you really create a really great team. Chris, how many years have you been part of this event?
Well, is it 14, is it? I think it's 14 years now.
And I know that the last couple of years that we've seen numbers on a check at the end of this show that you never thought you'd see before. What does it really mean to you and to your colleagues to put something like this together?
Well, when it first started, it was way back when Niagara Square was still Niagara Square, and we did something, Midnight Madness sale with Jeff Garashi, and that's how it kind of all started, and then it just blossomed into what it is today. And you know, it's just every year you think, oh, you can't get higher than that. And one year we got $30,000, then one year $68,000, and it's amazing the generosity of the people in Niagara Falls, and going around to the schools yesterday and seeing the kids and smiling and actually helping us load the buses and stuff like that, and they get so excited. It's you know, it's a big part of Christmas for me, that's for sure.
I have to say that I did pass one of the buses in the parking lot today, and I think it's the fullest I've ever seen it here at the Greg Frewin Theatre.
Actually, we had to unload yesterday because we didn't have enough room, and then we refilled it. And so we've done well, and we've done well with the toys. We've been to the toy store for Project Share. I think we've dropped off 6 or 7 loads in the last 3 or 4 days.
Wow.
So it's good for the Christmas program that they put on at St. Andrews. So, yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Briley, when we saw you last year in 22, you had just started with Project Share.
Oh, for sure. I wasn't able to be on the bus this week, but it's been a few months leading up to this, and I've been able to see firsthand how businesses and schools, they make it their own challenge. They are so excited to get involved. This being my second year, it gets more and more special every year.
With the need that we're seeing now in the community, and I mean the leading story again last night in the national news was about the inflation and cost of groceries. Has it made your job a little bit more difficult?
My job, personally, I don't believe so. It just makes the need greater, but our motto, our mantra is our community at work, because we see firsthand every day a community that's willing to rally behind one another and support our neighbors in need, and that has not faltered. As our need grows, it's become greater, and it's been great to see.
So you haven't had to think outside the box with new event ideas or new ways to be able to bring more resources into Project Share?
I always think outside the box, but this Stuff the Bus campaign and our Good News Breakfast are tried and true. They have been the longest running for a reason, because people love them, they love to support them, and yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the Great Holiday Food Drive.
Yes. Yes, so that is happening after the event. It is a Feed Niagara initiative, so all 10 Niagara Regional food agencies will be participating in their own food drive, but Project Share specifically will be happening from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the No Frills on Lundy's Lane. It is with partnership of Heartland Forest, so they will be bringing their train along, and our staff and volunteers will be there collecting toys, no, not toys, food, well, toys if you'd like to bring them, food and monetary donations as well.
So after the event, if you have a few minutes, you can drop by No Frills on Lundy's Lane here in Niagara Falls, and there will be a bus there. And is there a bus? Is it a bus?
Heartland Forest will be bringing their train.
Oh, right. It's
the
the train.
bus will be at Canadian Tire on Morrison from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So we are in the community today.
So really, if you're not able to make it between the 7 and 10 time that we're here at the Greg Frewin Theatre, there's still lots of opportunity to give.
Absolutely.
So when can people continuously drop off donations? Right up until Christmas Day, or is there a cutoff point?
I'm not sure for a cutoff point. I believe the Friday is the 22nd, but we will gladly take any donation, food, toy, monetary, whatever you're willing to give, up until that day. We are open. Our Stanley Ave location is open from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday to Friday, and stop on by. We're friendly. We'll chat. Yes.
Kristen Briley, this event really wouldn't be here if it wasn't for both of you. So thank you very much for joining us here at the table. And we're going to see what's happening out on the bus.
Perfect.
Pam, did you see the bus? There's so much on there.
I know, we're so excited. The community is really stepping up this year.
It looks like you have a little bit of work to do after the show today.
Yes, for sure.
Talking about lots of work, we have Ali and Anish. They are the co-owners of Morrison Pharmasave over on Morrison Street here in Niagara Falls, and they're joining us at the table to talk about all their great news. In particular, they're the title sponsors of this year's Good New Breakfast. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
So you have really, over the last few years, every time that you come to the table, you have a bigger check to give, and now this year the title sponsors. Why did you make that decision to now be the title sponsors of this event?
Well, I think Anish and I have both been supporters of Project Share over the last few years, and when the opportunity came up to be the title sponsor, it was just a natural transition for us. I think Pam, the team, and everyone at Project Share, the volunteers, do such a wonderful job sponsoring and helping the community in difficult times that it was just natural for us to try to step up where we could.
So Anish, this is your first time joining us. Welcome.
Thank you.
How does it make you feel to know that you are helping out? I mean, you are helping out the community because you're both pharmacists, but now you're actually stepping up that assistance to those who are coming into your pharmacy.
It feels good to give back to community. We've been in the community for about 8 years now, and we've been doing it like every year. So every year that time comes, Christmas, and we feel to give back to the community.
Are you finding now that you're seeing that the need is greater as you're coming into your pharmacy? I mean, maybe not being able to pay for prescriptions?
We certainly see it in the pharmacy, but I think we just see it all around the community in general. We hear the stories of our patients coming in, and we hear about the increased grocery prices, the increased mortgage payments, rent, etc. It's a tight situation out there for a lot of us. I think everyone, even in the working community, right? You have to stretch that dollar further. So having to make ends meet is becoming more difficult for everyone. And I think having Project Share available to support those in need, especially during these difficult times, is so important. It's so important for us to help out when we can.
And that's the one thing about the positions that you both hold in the community, that people feel so comfortable with you to come and disclose that they're having a hard time making their ends meet. They are having a hard time making sure that they're providing for their families. So you really are on the front line to understand that this is something very, very valuable.
Absolutely. We see it, as I said, almost daily. People have to make the decision between, paying for their medication sometimes or putting food on the table or paying the rent. And we try to help them out as much as we can, but I think more and more people are kind of falling towards that choices of food or medication, at least for what we see. And it's difficult to watch, but we try to do our part, and we've been fortunate, and we try to give back in whatever way we can.
And do you feel the same way, Anish, that you are starting to feel that you're helping to ease some of that need?
Yes, so with this inflation and what's going on with COVID, everybody is having difficult times, right? So we try to pitch in, do whatever we can on the professional side in the pharmacy, and also helping through you guys like Project Share. Yeah.
Ali, we talked about stepping up. You are now a board member with Project Share. What helped you make that decision?
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I've been board members with other organizations in the past, so I do enjoy just giving back in that manner as well, with my time and etc. So I think just again the natural transition was to see what I could do. If there's any sort of benefit or any type of input, or I could give back, not just monetarily, but with actual time and volunteer work. It was just something that I was always kind of raised with and want to continue to do.
So now that you have a little bit of the background of the inner workings of Project Share, what can you share about the organization that maybe that you didn't know before you joined the board?
One of the things I'd say is I think Pam does deserve a cape. I think she carries, she wears a lot of hats. She's constantly doing different things and overcoming many obstacles and challenges. And I think when you finally get to see sort of the background of that, you get a greater appreciation of what all the volunteers do, what the organization does, and how much they actually really support the community.
We've been doing through the pharmacy, right? And mainly it's a pharmacy as an organization. We are contributing from Pharmasave, basically.
We used to raise money many years, and I think we found it harder and harder to ask our patients because there's so many people asking for money this time of year. And especially during these difficult times, we were just one more person. So in the past couple years, especially after COVID, we've just done a pharmacy donation, just because I think asking for more and more is sometimes challenging. We hope to get to a point where we can start to see less of need for Project Share, but certainly at this time and probably moving forward, we don't see that. So it's important for us just to give out personally from what we could.
So mainly we do it from the pharmacy, we contribute from the pharmacy itself.
Well, you actually are here to show us that you have something wonderful to share.
Yes.
And Briley is holding it right now, and she's going to be bringing it in. So Morrison Pharmasave, what do you have for us this year?
So we've got our check this year of $12,500 for Project Share, and hopefully we can a slight drop in the bucket, but hopefully to make some contributions to better the lives of individuals and families in the community.
Well, you know what? You just helped to make the season a little bit brighter for so many Niagara community families. And Pam, how does this make you feel?
Absolutely. It's been such an incredible partnership working with you both. And, as you've mentioned, it started as a fundraising campaign and now is our title sponsorship. And you've been there for Project Share and the families we're serving every year. So thank you all so much.
Thank you.
So thank you, Anisha and Ali, for being here, being our title sponsors this year, Morrison Pharmasave. But you know what? We're going to check out the bus and see what's happening in the parking lot. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the 2023 Morrison Pharmasave's Good News Breakfast here live. We are live, Pam, at the Greg Frewin Theatre here in Niagara Falls, and you can come join us too and see us live on location with YourTV Niagara. You can bring just a small little donation. It could be monetary, it could be an unwrapped toy, or maybe even a non-perishable food item. And we have a wonderful breakfast waiting for everybody in the lobby. Before we get to our wonderful guest that's waiting at the table, we chat a little bit about the Chippewa location. You and I had a chance to chat at the beginning of November that you don't just have your Stanley Avenue location now, you now have one at the Chippewa Presbyterian Church.
That's right. So we opened a satellite location this year in partnership with Chippewa Presbyterian Church. We were fortunate to receive a Community Services Recovery Fund grant to help us get that set up, buy our fridge and freezer for that space. And the church has welcomed us into using their space because we've heard over the years that transportation can be a real barrier and a real challenge for people to get to our Stanley Avenue location. We serve the entire city of Niagara Falls, but we're located in one specific neighborhood. So a satellite location in Chippewa is something that's been on our radar for a little bit, and now with the need being so great, we figured, it's a great time for us to try coming into the community. It helps with a little bit less traffic at our Stanley Avenue location so that we can serve clients in the most client-centered way.
And I think that it's really important for us to talk about is that the services that are available at Stanley Avenue are also available on Wednesdays at the church.
Absolutely. So we believe in a client-centered model for service. That means that no matter what your story is, where you live in the city, you're going to get the exact same service when you come through Project Share. So that was really important when we set up that satellite, was that food room might be a little bit smaller in the church, but it looks very similar. The experience is very similar to if you're coming to our Stanley Avenue location.
So let's talk about the time and dates. When is that location open?
So right now we are open on Wednesdays from 1 to 6 p.m. So we did that strategically to offer a later service hour for people who maybe are working during the day and find it harder to get to us before 3 o'clock. So that gives them that opportunity as well. And as it's something new, it's a pilot, we're just sort of testing out what the need is. We have the opportunity to grow that if we need to down the road.
So it's been open for about a month now. What's it been like for the past month? Have you had a lot of people coming in through the doors?
Yeah, we've heard from a lot of people that have come to that location how grateful they are that they could come there. Some of them have walked now because it's so much closer and gives them back a lot of their day if they had to take multiple buses to get to us on Stanley Avenue. So it has been very well received so far, and we know that will continue to grow as we get the word out to the community that we're available there.
Pam, really the Chippewa location wouldn't even be possible without having Pastor Pastor Jared being a part of things.
Absolutely.
And he's sitting here at the table. It's
morning.
Pastor Jared with the Chippewa Presbyterian Church. And Pam, take it away.
Well, first of all, good morning. We're
Good
so
morning.
glad to have you here with us today.
Wonderful to be here. This is, I mean, I have two small kids, and so we're in this Goldilocks zone where they're actually both sleeping through the night, and so getting up early this morning was a little bit of work, but it's so good to be here.
Wonderful. Can you share with our viewers why Chippewa Presbyterian wanted to host a food bank in their church?
Oh, that's a huge question. I mean, the short answer is because we saw the need, and we had a small benevolence fund when I first came to Niagara Falls a couple of years ago, and what we saw was just more people coming and needing help and trying to be. I mean, the church is in this really great spot in the very middle of Chippewa, and we just found there was no world where we could keep up with the need in any kind of meaningful way, and so we started to think about, like, what are the tools that we have to sort of expand this outreach and make this possible. And you and I had coffee fairly early on in the process and started talking about this, but we knew that we wanted to be the church for Chippewa, or at least a church for Chippewa, and we wanted to make sure that the basic needs of our neighbors were getting met, and we wanted to be a partner in that and find a way to help make that happen, even without recognizing that the resources we had were of a different kind, maybe.
Well, we're so grateful for that, because it's been a wonderful partnership for us, and you've made it really easy for us to try this pilot project and see, what the food bank in Chippewa is going to look like for
Absolutely.
us. We've been about a month now, so how is it going for the church? What's the feedback been from your parishioners?
The church operates on the currency of stories, and so getting to share the stories has been such a warm and a welcoming, and it's really a vibrant part of our outreach ministry. We've gone from a place where we talked about the benevolent fund sort of once a year, and we kind of gave a report on it, to really getting to update our congregation regularly on what kind of effective ministry we're able to do, and really give our people a picture of what ministry can look like in a new world as we come back from COVID, as we come back from all the things that we've been through in the last couple of years. Having the ability and having the sort of the leverage to have more stories to be able to share and tell this good news, and be able to come to things like a good news breakfast and share what the church's heartbeat is for our community. It's been amazing. We've seen the church rally. We've seen the bins that we kept at the church now fill up over and over again. We've seen people volunteer and get involved with Project Share. We've seen people from the community show up and say, how do we help out? How do we get involved? How do we make some of this happen? And we're already hearing questions about, like, well, what's next? What do we do next? How do we do more? And my job in those things is to pour those guys a cup of coffee and say, well, let's talk and we'll keep going. But the congregation's been amazingly supportive, and it's been such a treat over the last month. I mean, we've been living in this space for a couple months, but really getting to see our neighbors use the space has been amazing.
Well, thank you so much. We're so grateful for the partnership.
Absolutely.
And Lori and I had a chance to chat at Chippewa Presbyterian Church and show what our food bank looks like there about a month ago, and we're happy to share that footage with everyone now.
Project Share recently opened a new satellite location in Chippewa. The expansion will help fill the need for emergency food here in the city of Niagara Falls. Pam, can you tell me a little bit about today's announcement?
Yes, so we are here at our official grand opening of our Chippewa satellite site location, which is available for residents on Wednesdays from 1 to 6 p.m. It's an additional site where people who can come and access our emergency food program, making it more accessible for residents of the Chippewa community.
Because of the increase in food insecurity in the last couple of years, did you feel that there was a rush to put on a new location?
Yes, absolutely. Our physical building capacity has been strained at our Stanley Avenue location. We have seen such an alarming increase of 97% in clients over the past 2 years alone. So the current space is really challenging to meet the needs. So it was both a response to our clients' needs, making sure we're accessible, and also a way for us to help address some of our current capacity constraints.
So how did you settle on the Chippewa Presbyterian Church?
We looked at a lot of things. We wanted to make sure that the location
location was accessible. Before we even came into the community, we did a bit of a survey, meeting with different churches, community partners, trying to find out what exactly was available for residents of this community, because we never want to duplicate an existing service. We always want to complement that. So we did a little bit of a scope first and tried to, figure out what was here. And then we made sure it was accessible. So we're on a transit route. We looked at longevity. So what location could give us a partnership to start as a pilot site, but if the need continues, remain having that service available. And of course, we looked at expense as well. So what would be a larger
What you mentioned before is that the services that you would find at the Stanley Avenue location is also available here in Chippewa, and that really does mean full service.
Yes, so we are doing the full service for emergency food, and that's often what brings people in the door, but that opens up a conversation about what other supports they need to help meet their basic needs. So food's that immediate need. It's that feeling of hunger that they want to address right away, but through that one-on-one conversation with our client support workers, we identify, do they need more affordable housing? Do they need help for their children going back to school? Do they want to register for our Christmas program? Maybe they're interested in having a plot at our community garden. So that one-on-one conversation helps to open up all of those opportunities and make sure that we're referring clients to all applicable programs, both at Project Share and out in the community as well.
So let's talk about next steps for Project Share. We are almost at the end of October, which means that you're now starting to plan for your Christmas donation season.
Yes, so this is our biggest fundraising time, and this really will be the time where we know kind of how we're doing in terms of meeting the need in our community. We're spending a lot more on food purchasing lately. We are hoping to increase our gift cards that we're giving to families at Christmas this year to accommodate for the fact that food prices have significantly increased, and we want to make sure that everybody has a holiday meal. So we're going to rely on our holiday campaign a lot this year. So we've already started planning. We've got our barrels starting to go out in the community already, getting ready for our Stuff the Bus challenge, getting ready for our Good News Breakfast, which will be on December the 8th at the Greg Frewin Theatre. So all these plans are coming together, and before we know it, it'll be here.
The need continues to grow at Project Share, and you can help ease the strain by donating through their website or by placing non-perishable food items into the red bins across the city. In Niagara Falls, reporting for The Source, I'm Lori Taraba. Pam, it was great that we got to talk to Pastor Jared Miller, and then now we got to see what was happening at the church.
Absolutely.
Lily and I chatted earlier in the month. What a fantastic looking location.
Yeah, it's going really well. We're so grateful for that partnership.
And talk about partnerships. So Project Share is actually more than just emergency food. You provide support for the community, as well as that you're receiving community support, and your client support workers are really helping to make sure that your clients' needs are met, including the homeless programs.
Absolutely. So when somebody walks into Project Share, they meet one-on-one with a client support worker. Our goal is that they only have to tell their story once, and we're going to connect them with all of our programs and services that'll help their family. So as a multi-service agency, we have about 16 programs that we offer, but we do a lot of community referrals as well. We exist within a system of supports, and we try our best to help navigate that system for our clients.
Yeah, Project Share doesn't exist on an island. You're
That's
not
right.
by yourself. You are actually part of a whole group of not only just food banks, but of other services that are community-based to provide really a well-rounded support system for the people who are walking through your doors.
Absolutely, and a lot of times when people are walking through our doors, food is the immediate need that's bringing them to us, but they don't realize all of the other supports that we can offer them. Many people are coming to us in crisis, and it's really difficult to know sometimes where to turn if you never expected to be in that position. So it's really important that we have that one-on-one meeting and that we're able to help connect families with all of the supports that can help them.
I have to say that it's really important that you do have those community supports, and one is actually here to help speak about that. Who do we have at the table?
Yeah, so we're joined this morning by Maggie Penka from Niagara Region. She is with the homelessness system, and we are funded through the Niagara Region in part for our homelessness prevention program. So welcome, Maggie.
Hello, nice to be here. Thank you. So this morning we're talking about all of the good news things here in our community, and homelessness is not a great news story, unfortunately. We are seeing a lot of people who are struggling, but there are a lot of programs that are available to help those. So can you share with us a little bit about some of those programs here in Niagara Falls?
Sure, homelessness is an important issue in our community. So we work with a number of community partners in Niagara to help to support individuals experiencing homelessness. So, in Niagara right now, we have approximately just over 1,000 individuals who are experiencing homelessness. About 472 of those are experiencing chronic homelessness. So what that means is that individuals who have been homeless for about more than 6 months within the course of a year. But there's a number of great initiatives that we're working with our community partners in order to address homelessness in our community. So I can share with you a few of those for sure.
That's great.
So we do have our 2 permanent shelters that have just been brought into Niagara Falls and St. Catharines. We had seasonal shelters, but the importance of having housing-focused shelters that are 24/7, 365 days of the year was important for us as a community to be able to address our homelessness situation. So we have one in Niagara Falls and on Summer Street, which we have about 50 beds, and in St. Catharines we have another 50 beds. So that's been adding about 100 to 110 beds because there's some flexibility within our community. So that has been really exciting for us to get those up and running. So we also have our bridge housing, which is in Niagara. Experiencing really complex issues, chronically homeless, and it helps individuals who are going to be transitioning into permanent housing. So it's a really intensive 6 months program that helps to work with the complex needs of individuals and gets them ready to be really successful in their housing. So within that space, we have about 15 beds, and it's been really successful. We've had so far about 50% of our individuals who have gone to either housing, connected with family and friends, or have gone further to supportive housing. That's really important for them to be successful. So that's been a great initiative, and it's been a highlight. Nationally, it's been recognized as a model, and so we've been having conversations with other municipalities. So how great is it, Niagara, to be recognized on a national level for something like this? So it's been fantastic.
Absolutely. And as we talked about a minute ago, Project Share doesn't exist on an island. We're part of a system. So we are part of that homelessness prevention system.
Absolutely.
Our response is on the prevention side. So
Yeah.
things like eviction prevention, rehousing, trying to prevent people from entering that homelessness system. But there are many agencies that are funded as part of the system through the region. I know we work very closely with the NASO team. So the street outreach team that, we often call 211 for our clients who are already experiencing homelessness and need that additional support out in the community. So Maggie, do you want to share a little bit with our viewers what that system really entails? I've touched on a couple pieces of it, but am I missing anything from the homelessness system side?
Absolutely. Prevention is such an important component to addressing homelessness, and Project Share is an important partner in that. Being able to ensure that people don't even enter into homelessness is such a critical component. And so we have aspects of our homelessness system like our diversion program, engaging in conversations with individuals even before they enter into our shelter system. We've had some great partners within Niagara, such as the Raft. We have organizations across the shelter asking questions so that there can be other options maybe for individuals, family and friends that they can connect with. We've seen about a 10% rate of preventing individuals from coming into homelessness through that program for adults. For youth, we've seen a 40%. So it's been a great success in having that type of aspect in our program. Prevention, like Project Share, we have a number of organizations supporting individuals who may be at risk of losing their housing or who may be facing eviction. How important is that to have organizations like yourselves to work with individuals to be able to help them and guide them through that, and maybe offer even other options for housing so that individuals can stay stably housed. And that's really important for us in our community, to have people remain in their homes. So projects like that and organizations that support eviction prevention, housing loss, and diversion on our prevention side is so critical. And outreach supports individuals who are experiencing unsheltered homeless. Like you said, we have a number of individuals who are on the street working hand in hand. And Niagara is quite unique in the NASO program, our Niagara Assertive Street Outreach, because a lot of communities that we've seen in municipalities usually have individuals go from street to shelter, and then they work with them in accessing housing. But within this team, they've been really successful in supporting individuals who have gone from street straight to housing. How awesome is that? So it's been, again, a lot of communities are looking to Niagara to see some of these practices that we're doing in this community. It's exciting.
It's very exciting, and we're really grateful to be a part of that system, because it truly is a collaborative effort to help reduce homelessness in our community and help make sure that our neighbors are all housed. So thank you for joining us this morning, and thank you for supporting Project Share in this program delivery.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Maggie, for being here. Pam, we've been chatting with Maggie. We've also been taking quick little shots of my husband Steve in the parking lot and people bringing things on the bus. So we're going to go take a peek in the parking lot again and see what else is happening. We'll be right back. Back, and it's Lori Taraba, and it's the Executive Director of Project Share. It's Pam Sharp, and she's joining me for the first time this year. How do you think it's going?
It's going well. We're having fun this morning, Lori.
It is really fun. I think I've been here for so long. It just feels like it's like a natural thing to be here on the first Friday in December and have wonderful people sitting at our table that we can't wait to talk to.
Absolutely.
And we have two more fantastic community partners with Project Share. It is Anita and Jason Fleming, and they're here to talk about their Pick a Pumpkin event. Good morning.
Good morning.
So let's talk about Pick a Pumpkin. Exactly what is it, in case people aren't sure?
We've been running it now for 14 years, and the idea behind it is that you come and you give a donation for Project Share, and you get to take a free pumpkin home. That simple. It's that simple of a idea, and we've been doing it now, and it's been great. It's lots of fun, and our friends and family look forward to it, and they start to bug us in September to ask us when it's going to be.
So how did you come up with the idea, Jason?
Actually, it was a business idea originally. It turned into a more of a charitable idea to get clients out to your place of business. We actually moved it now to the Chippewa Arena to make the location a little easier for the community. But yeah, that's originally how it started, to get everybody out to do that, and then it's just growing exponentially.
Do you see the repeat families, Anita, coming out year after year, and it really much more of a tradition now?
Absolutely. Our friends and family, like I said, they look forward to it, and the idea behind it is sometimes they come out and, like we were talking earlier about the pandemic, this was the only time we got to see people. Like, for the first time, we saw a lot of people after that went through, and they actually felt comfortable to come out, and we did it in a contactless way, so you just kind of popped your trunk, we took the food, put a pumpkin in, and we waved at you, but we got to see you, right?
Right.
So it was really part of, that getting back to the normalcy after the pandemic as well. So it's a great way for people to come, and they'll stand in the parking lot and they'll talk to each other and meet new people, and the kids love it. The kids run around and they get to sit on the pumpkins, and usually we have some photos, and and we've had Project Share come out with your mascot, and yeah, they love it. It's just lots of fun for the whole community.
So really, your event, Jason, is growing each year.
It's been getting bigger and bigger every year. We have to purchase more and more pumpkins as the years go on, which is good though. It's a win-win. So.
Yep.
So how many people approximately do you think that you see at each event?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm not sure about numbers. But
yeah, I don't know if we know how many people actually come.
Lots.
We buy over 300 pumpkins.
Oh wow!
And we have a few usually that we donate to Project Share, so some of the families could have a pumpkin for Halloween. And that's pretty much like.
That's a big event. You have several hundred people.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, within 3 hours, basically, they're gone.
Yeah, in and out in 3 hours. It's
Yep.
a quick event, and I think we raised usually between like $5,000 and $6,000 worth of food and canned goods every year in the last 14 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does it make you feel to know that you're seeing the families coming with their donated goods, but how does it make you feel, Jason?
I think
that
it's
heartwarming feeling
It's
at the
more
end of
collaboration. I think the community, especially Niagara, everybody wants to help. I think it's just an avenue for them to help, and this is an easy way for them to do it and get their kids involved as well. So I think it's a really good thing, and I think most people are enjoying it.
And we have talked about that before, and Pam and I have as well, about how important it is for us to have the ability for children to understand what it means to give and what it means to pay it forward.
Absolutely. Our two sons have been involved every year since they were like tots, sitting in the pumpkin wagon, and now their friends come out, so they promote it at their school, and Pam's daughter goes to the same school as my son, and my son was telling them about the event, and she's like, that's my mom's place. So the kids get it, and our children are older now, but the younger children of our family and friends that come out to the event, they're getting it, and it's that idea that we're fortunate to have dinner on our table. Let's make sure everybody else in our community is as well.
Well, we can't thank you enough for your Pick a Pumpkin event, for your support, continued support of Project Share. We can't wait to hear all about next year's good news. And right now we're going to check out with the bus to see what's happening out in the parking lot. We'll be right back. Pam and I were just chatting about the energy that this event brings to us each and every year. Are you feeling it?
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite days of the year. We get to feel that excitement for giving, right? And it's so wonderful. It really is the reason of the season.
And the Niagara community is amazing about the giving. Whenever they feel that somebody is in need, they're ready to step up and help out.
Absolutely.
And now you have somebody else who's here who is wonderful about stepping up and helping out. It's Kevin Fair with the Stamford Volunteer Firemen's Association.
Yes, good morning. Welcome, Kevin.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. SCVFA has been a valuable community partner for Project Share for many, many years. Can you share with us a little bit about what that looks like for you?
What that looks like for me, it's a great group of guys who get together who want to provide for the community. 100 years ago, they started out as a volunteer fire department, and they transitioned into a group that just gives back to the community through the park and through, things like Project Share.
Yeah, and you plan some annual events that support Project Share. Your Easter egg hunt that happens every year. Can you talk a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, this year, 2023 was a big year. We had about 4,000 people there. We didn't quite plan for that number, but that Easter egg hunt, we go and we get 600 pounds of chocolate. It goes out to the kids. People come in. You can either pay to come in a donation or bring in food donations. This year we raised 1,800 pounds of food, and I think it was a $6,000 donation. So that was up from last year, which was 1,200 pounds of food and a $5,000 donation. So you can see those numbers, the reflection, right? People really come out and support this event.
Absolutely, and it's a huge impact for our agency to have that annual support every year that we can count on. So we're so grateful for that partnership. And your partnership with Project Share goes beyond the Easter egg hunt. I know we've used the hall for some events, and there are other things that your group does throughout the year. Can you share a little bit with our viewers about that?
Yeah, the hall's available there for community events. You can rent it. We do give it back to the community for certain needs, right, such as Project Share. So we're there to help the community. The park itself, there's 135 acres there, Carolinian forest. Our next big job is going to be redoing the pond down below. We're going to be cleaning it out, and we want to give it back to the kids that they can go down there and fish and do the things that we did as adults when we were kids, right? So that's going to be our next big project, which is huge. Centennial Construction has been fantastic with helping us get this going. I really, love to thank Dominic. He's been wonderful. And so that's the next big thing. So looking forward to that.
Well, lots of good news coming out of the park. There's been a lot of changes there over the years, and we're looking forward to seeing what that pond looks like. Are there other events or new initiatives that you're talking about for this coming year?
So this coming year, we'll have more events similar to last year. The Canada Day event is going to be planned there again with the city. They had Filipino Fest, they had Irish Festival. So more big events are coming. And so, the community is really getting to see what the park has to offer, right? There's Frisbee golf. There's all sorts of things that you can do down there. Kids' playgrounds. We just opened the Children's Memorial Garden. So it's quite a hub for action, for the city. So.
Absolutely, and all volunteer driven. I mean, we talk about how important volunteers are to Project Share, and your group is solely run by volunteers. So a lot of giving that you do year round.
Got a great team, and I like to thank them too. They make me look good.
Well, that's great. Well, we look forward to joining you again on Good Friday for the annual Easter egg hunt. And thank you once again for supporting Project Share and being with us here this morning.
You're welcome. Great to see you. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, same to you.
Pam, I wonder what's happening out in the parking lot. Should we go take a look at the bus?
Yes, absolutely. I want to see that bus.
Let's go take a look. I don't know, Pam. I'm thinking I may want to go and take a selfie with the Project Share can in the parking lot.
Yes, our Red Barrel mascot really is a popular fixture in the community.
And I just found out that he doesn't have a name, so maybe we need to think about maybe a fundraising initiative.
That sounds like a great idea.
Name
Maybe
the food
another
can.
competition.
I like it. You know what else I like, Pam? We have people sitting at the table telling us all about their great news.
Absolutely.
And we have Brian LaFantasy from Purolator, and he's here to talk about all his great news and his support of Project Share. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
Good morning. So let's talk about the Pack the Purolator event.
Sure.
So tell me what it is and when it takes place.
It takes place, this year was at the end of September, and basically we drive our Purolator trucks, 8 of them, out to 8 different grocery stores in Niagara Falls in the morning, and then the team, they take donations all day, and then we deliver the trucks back to Project Share, unload, and weigh the fruit. It's pretty simple.
Do you have a lot of people who are clamoring for one of those 8 spots?
Absolutely. We get lots of volunteers every year, so it's a very popular event at Purolator.
So has Purolator been seeing the community need in terms of like your deliveries to customers, or how's it been looking for you in the community?
In the community, we run various food drives throughout the year. Purolator is very big on feeding the hungry. We have our own program called Tackle Hunger. It's in association with CFL. So throughout the year we do many food drives, and we set our goal for the end of the year, and our goal for this year was to raise 2 million pounds of food.
Oh wow, that's a lofty goal.
That's a very lofty goal, and by the end of November we actually achieved that. So it's a very proud of our guys.
Wow, Lori, to give you some information on that goal, we distributed over 1 million pounds of food in a year. So that's how much food Purolator is bringing in with that $2 million goal.
It's amazing.
That is amazing. So Project Share is actually helping you with your company's initiative.
Absolutely.
With helping to give back.
It is. It's great.
So if you had a 2 million goal for 2023, have you set your sights on 2024 yet?
Not yet, but I'm sure it's going to be much higher than that.
So what else is happening for Purolator in terms of community service?
The latest big food drive that we had was with the CFL and the Grey Cup. The total numbers out of there haven't come through yet, but it's always a big event, and I'm sure it's going to blow the numbers out of from last year. So it's.
So you had volunteers that arrived to collect the food. So did you help unload the food as well?
Not me personally, but I had other managers helping out, and it's a collective from all our depots for the Grey Cup. So we had many volunteers.
And so you collected all the food. What was your response from your employees after they had this day of giving?
The response is, I do my meetings in the morning, and the feedback from the following day, it's very positive. Everybody, they go out of their way to help. It's very humbling.
Pam, how does it feel to know that you have so many people like Brian and his coworkers out there to ensure that you are a success?
It's amazing. Our tagline is our community at work, and it truly is a community effort. I mean, my team could not meet the need alone. We absolutely rely on the support of generous partners like Purolator. You know, we've worked together for many years. And there's been lots of different things we've done over the years. I remember one year there was a football game that we planned here locally, and this is an example of a company who's working with us here in Niagara Falls for our specific initiative, Pack the Purolator, that's been happening at grocery stores for a long time, but also through our provincial partnership in Feed Ontario and our national and Food Banks Canada. So it's a company that really obviously values giving back and caring for our community and making sure that nobody's going hungry.
And Brian, you're a big part of that. So thank you so much for being here today and for helping to make sure that the Good News Breakfast is a success again this year. We are also going to talk to somebody else who's helping to make this a success. We're talking to Lauren Lewitsky, and she's with Niagara Casinos, and she had a chance to drop by the studio and chat with me about all of their great news this year. Lauren Lewitsky is the People and Culture Specialist and Community Engagement Specialist for the Niagara Casinos. She's here to share some great news about being a sponsor for the Good News Breakfast this year. Lauren, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
It's so wonderful to see you again this year.
It's one of my favorite events of the year to come to.
So over the last few years, we knew that the patronage of the Niagara Casinos has been down, but now things are back up again.
Yeah.
Has the increased patronage actually helped with the revenues in your gift giving for 2023?
Absolutely. We've been so fortunate to have people finally coming back out. We've had so much change, and we have Overtime, our new sports lounge, and we just have so many new opportunities that people are really engaging with the casino, especially with the OLG stage as well. And that's allowed us to give back to the community more and just be more present.
Have you found that you have people approaching you asking for the casino's help, or do you have like a whole list of that you can't wait to give to?
Definitely the asks keep flowing in day after day. It's unfortunate to not be able to support all the need that's out there, but we do what we can.
I have to say the Niagara Casinos always has an atmosphere of wanting to give back to the Niagara community.
Absolutely. Our employees, all they want to do is give back and get involve their children if they can with volunteering, teaching them how to give back to the community right from a young age. So any opportunity that I can have a sponsorship, I'm always like, okay, what can our employees do as well? Because they're
community.
Yeah, we've been trying to spread our wealth as much as we can with all the communities within the Niagara region, but I know the demand is ever increasing in almost every nonprofit area sector.
I know that Project Share is something that is very dear to you because you are a former employee.
Yeah.
Your insight into the organization, has that actually helped you understand a little bit more about why it's so important for your colleagues to get involved?
Absolutely. It gives me the real ability to show employees where their money's going or what their 1 hour of volunteering is doing for the community. And again, getting them involved right with the charity, I think has been something that I've really tried to do over the years that I've been at the casino, because the more you see it, the more inclined you are to continue supporting.
Let's talk about that. You just mentioned about the 1 hour of volunteering. So what does that look like?
Yeah, just anything from even Project Share food sorting, or this year we have the privilege of going on the bus one day to go around and help collect the donations from all the organizations and schools. And I think that's going to be a real thrill for some of our employees that will be with me.
And now they really get a more of an insight about what Project Share means to the Niagara community, because now they get to see it firsthand.
Exactly. Yeah, couldn't say it better.
So you just mentioned that your colleagues have donated monetarily, and they also have volunteered their time. Any other ways that they've been involved in this year's campaign?
Yeah, well, this year we took a little bit different of an approach for our collecting. We challenged all the departments to bring in as much as they can, and that's kind of ambitious. You know, people are busy. I didn't know what to expect, and the amount of donations that we have waiting at the warehouse for the casino for us to pick up, it's outstanding. They floored me. I couldn't have done better if I tried. So it was a really unique approach where we got to kind of get the teams involved with each other and have competitions as to who could raise more. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
With your connections to Project Share, how does it make you feel to see the overwhelming support and know that it's really helping the Niagara community when the need is really at its highest?
Yeah, it warms my heart every year. Like I said, this is one of my favorite times of year and events to support, again, because of my connection with Project Share. But now that I have inspired others to get involved, it just makes it an incredible experience.
What feedback have you been hearing so far?
Just that they loved it, and they also loved seeing the most needed items list and the more detail that I gave them, saying, you know, I wouldn't have even thought of like canned meat as, you know, being an extra protein or something that people would really need, or peanut butter, or some of the toys, or even gift cards for teenagers, not knowing that that's one of our highest, or Project Share's highest demanded areas is, you know, toys for older kids, because what do you buy them at that age? So really giving them the more information they found really fascinating this year.
That actually is a really good point because everybody thinks about smaller children needing to have something under the Christmas tree, but it's not the case.
Yeah.
The older teens really do need something too, and so gift cards are always a great idea.
Exactly, yeah.
Lauren, you know, one of the best parts about you coming to visit today is that you always bring a little something with you. So what are you bringing with you this year?
We are bringing our donation this year from the casino of $7,500.
Ooh, this is a nice way to start things off, isn't it? $7,500. Thank you so much for all your support.
No, my
and
pleasure.
coming to visit with me today, Lauren Lewitsky. It's
Thank
wonderful to have you here. Good
Thank
News
you.
Breakfast. Looking forward to seeing you all soon. Pam, we've talked about Morrison Pharmasave being the title sponsor. We just had Lauren Lewitsky from the Niagara Casinos, and she was holding a really great check too. You have so many great community partners handing you money. It's wonderful.
We do, absolutely, and that's going to help us meet the increased need this Christmas.
You know what else is really wonderful? We have Greg Frewin here, and he is a grand champion of magic, and he's going to be here to perform for us. So take it away, Greg.
Besides, in the meantime, Turn up the lights, young baby. Extra bright, I want y'all to see this. Turn up the lights, young baby. You know what I need. Want you to see everything. Want you to see all of the lights. I'm trying to tell you what all I can say. I'm trying to tell you what all I can say. Yeah, let yourself go, let yourself go.
Thank you very much. Welcome this morning. Is everyone having a good time so far? Wow, this is amazing, and it's good to be back here this year, and we're having a lot of fun. I'm going to sit down here real quick and tell a little quick story because being Canadian, it's always exciting during the Christmas season, and magic and Christmas go together very well. As a matter of fact, I remember the very first time I ever saw snow. I was very young. But for me, being in Canada, that is normal. But when I was living in the Bahamas many years ago, a young boy came up to me. He said, "Greg, what is snow like?" Well, I thought about that for a minute. And I said, "Look, if you can get me a piece of paper, I'll show you something really cool." Well, he ran off, came back with a napkin, kind of like this one, and I showed him something really cool. Yep, that's the same reaction he had. But I told him this wasn't a real snowflake. I told them real snowflakes come in all different shapes, and real snow comes in all different sizes. But most importantly, real snow is made from water. Folks at home, we hope you're having a great start to your Christmas. This is a great event. We're so happy to have it back here at our theater again this year. And I know we're going to raise a lot of food and toys and gifts for the needy this year. But we want to do something right now that we get to do every year. And this is the exciting part for me. Every year, all the schools get together and they try to raise funds and do things to help out with this Project Share morning breakfast. And the highest, or the one that does the best, gets a big prize. And we have the name right here of the school this year that did above and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for our winner this year, James Morrison School. Wow, congratulations. You guys did fantastic. Thank you very much for your support in this Project Share Day. We hope you guys have a great afternoon, and we hope to see you all soon. Thanks again. Have a great one, everyone.
Pam, congratulations to James Morton Public School on the Stuff the Bus Challenge this year. They're the school winners.
They are, and I actually got to go on to the bus to pick up from James Morton this year, which I don't normally do, so that was really exciting, and I was blown away by the amount of donations that school collected and the enthusiasm from the students carrying it all out to the bus. It was just wonderful.
You know, I think that you had one of the highest
support, and it's always great to see the kids excited about giving back.
You know, I also heard that you have another new community partner, the Great Wolf Lodge.
Yes, we've had a partnership with them for several years, but they're doing something new for Project Share this year.
I hear that they have a huge gingerbread house that you can buy a ticket and go and eat inside of. And our very own YourTV Niagara, Anthony Luongo, had a chance to go and visit it recently, and we're going to go and take a look.
With Christmas just weeks away, you can get into the holiday spirit by making, no building, no eating in a gingerbread house, all in support. Christmas, and you've upped the game here at Great Wolf Lodge. How have you done so?
Well, you know, we're offering our Snowland promotion right now. It started at the beginning of December. It's going to run till just about the first week of January. We've got Santa visits every single day this season, so they're going to come in. We have snow in the lobby 3 times a day. And of course, like, I wouldn't be the same Christmas without our life-size gingerbread house. So you and your family can make a reservation and come and dine inside our gingerbread house that our bakers here have decorated for everyone.
Tell me a little more about the food, what's the offering, and you're supporting a charitable cause, is that right?
Most definitely, Anthony. Thank you so much. So what we're doing is we're taking a 25 share this year, helping our local community. So that was really important for us to make sure that everything stayed local. As far as the dinners or lunches are concerned, we do have a buffet breakfast or a buffet dinner, which is not included in the price of the sitting fee, but delicious options there, be it breakfast or dinner. Lots of variety for everyone. Lunchtime's available as well. We have an a la carte service that you can choose from while you're dining in the house, or we also have other options throughout the property that you can go to as well. So a lot of exciting things happening here.
Now, I know it's only been open for a little while, but what has the response been so far?
Response has been fantastic, and I would say we're probably about 98% full on of our bookings up to date so far, with a few openings available down the road. You do not necessarily need to be a lodge guest to stay in the Gingerbread House, but if you can find a reservation to come on and see us, we'd be happy to invite you to do so.
How do people book?
Well, they're going to go on the website, and there's a link directly on our website, greatwolf.com, and you can just click the link and go from there and see what's available so they can come on and see us.
Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you can dine in the Gingerbread House by visiting greatwolf.com/Niagara. And while you're here, maybe you'll want to drop off your list to somebody in red. In Niagara Falls for The Source, I'm Anthony Luongo.
What a really cute idea, Pam.
Absolutely. I want to eat in a gingerbread house, don't you, Lori?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody kind of wonders about what it'd be like to live in a gingerbread house. And now I hear you have a chance and to help Project Share too.
Yeah, the giving season will continue.
And Stephanie Giesbrecht is here, and she's talking about all the giving as well.
Yes, welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you.
So you are here with Service Master Restore of Niagara, who's been an incredible community partner with Project Share. For our Good News Breakfast campaign, you were our route sponsor for our Stuff the Bus Challenge this year. So tell me, what motivated you to be involved with this campaign?
We absolutely love being a part of the community, and we not only want to support as a route sponsor, but also be a part of being on the hands and feet as well. So participating in that way, it's so wonderful to be a part of the community and giving back and participating in that way.
Well, and your team certainly were the hands yesterday. I was on the bus with a team of about, I think, 5 of your employees who joined us to pick up and load all of the donations that we receive from schools and businesses as part of our challenge. So the financial sponsorship as well as the manpower that you give to this campaign is really appreciated. Did your team share with you any feedback on what their experience was like on the bus collecting donations?
They absolutely loved it. We've had a couple of the team members from yesterday. They've actually participated in years past as well. So when the email went out that we were going to be doing it again, they were so excited and signed up right away. So to get around and to see those organizations and be involved was really special.
Oh, that's wonderful. It was so great to have them, and their help was really appreciated. I know that your support of our Christmas program extends beyond the Stuff the Bus Challenge. You have sponsored families as well for our Christmas program. Can you share what that experience was like for your team?
Of course, being able to participate in the initiatives of Project Share has been amazing. It makes it so easy to be involved in the community. Our whole team would gather and we'd go to Walmart and just sort of take over, and we shopped for, I believe, 4 families this year, which was really special to get to know the families intimately. It names what they're looking for specifically, and folks, I know one of our team members was looking to shop for the girls in the group because he has 2 little nieces, so to have that personal connection and want to help as best they can has been really special.
Yeah, the Sponsored Family Program really is a personal experience because you're shopping for a specific child and you have their wish list, and you're really helping to, make those holiday magic wishes come true. So thank you so much for that support. And I know we also work with your team through our Back to School program. So if you want to share a little bit with our viewers about what that experience was like for you this year.
It was wonderful. We, a lot of our team members have kids or family members, so they understand how important it is to get ready and be excited for the new year. So to be able to help provide those backpacks and snacks was really wonderful.
Oh, well, that's so great, and we're so appreciative of your support year-round. You've been a wonderful community partner, and we look forward to continuing to work with you. I hear you have a check to show our viewers at home today. We're going to invite Briley to come on back in and share that with all of us.
We're always happy to see a check at the table, aren't we?
Oh, absolutely. So $2,000. Thank you so very much. Again, this is above and beyond, the family, the gifts that you bought for families. This is a corporate
just keep coming. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm getting excited for our grand total announcement because it keeps growing.
We're just a couple hours away to find out exactly what that is. But first, I see Jim Diodati. He's the mayor of Niagara Falls, and he's out in the parking lot talking to Chris Russell from Niagara Transit. Let's see what's happening in the parking lot. You know, Pam, I have to say that here we're live again at the Greg Frewin Theatre and here in Niagara Falls for the 2023 Morrison Pharmasave Good News Breakfast in support of Project Share. I think we have the most amount of people at the theatre that we've seen since maybe pre-pandemic times.
Yeah, it's certainly a buzz. Lots of great energy in this room today.
We've been talking about that actually a lot this morning, about how much fun it is to feel that feeling.
Absolutely. It's such a wonderful start to the holiday season to get that feeling. Absolutely. We're talking about good news this morning, and CAA Niagara had some great news for food banks in Niagara this year. Marianne, can you share that with our viewers at home?
Absolutely. So in the spring, when we opened up our Penn Center location, we donated $100,000 to Feed Niagara, which represents 10 of the food banks here in the region. Well, after that announcement, we went back to the office and we talked to our board and we said, what can we do more? And so we decided that we would commit to a 10-year pledge of $1 million, $100,000 a year to help support the food banks and Feed Niagara, which of course Project Share is a part of.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. That's such an incredible investment into the work that's being done by Niagara Food Banks. So Feed Niagara does represent 10 agencies, as you mentioned, Project Share being one of them. That's all of the Feed Ontario member food banks that are serving the community. And this initial investment into our sort of newly formed partnership is really helping to move that collaboration forward and looking at a time when the need has never been greater in our community. So we're working together. So how do we better meet that need? But we need generous supporters like CAA Niagara to do that. So thank you so much for that incredible investment.
You're very welcome.
And your support is more than just the financial donation. You do some campaigns within CAA Niagara to help encourage members to give as well. Can you share with us a little bit about the Big Food Boost?
Absolutely. So in addition to our members, which almost 50% of households in Niagara have a CA membership, so what a great way to rally the region as well as our employees. So we collected non-perishable food items at our branches, our team members supported it, and we're actually doing that right now through our Light Up the Holidays campaign, where employees get involved in this time of the year and head out to some of the food banks and help sort the items that have been donated. So we try and give all year round.
You do, and that's so wonderful. You know, you're giving your resources, you're giving your time, really a truly local company giving back to the community that it operates in. So we're so grateful for that ongoing support.
Thank you.
Okay, Laurie, where are we off to next?
You know what? There's so many things happening on the bus, Pam. I think that we should take a quick peek to the parking lot. And Marianne, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you very much.
So we'll be right back. Well, I saw Stephanie in the parking lot. talking with Chris. Sorry, let me try that again. Stephanie was just in the parking lot handing a check to Chris Russell from Niagara Transit, and so the money really is going to the bus.
Yes, absolutely. We're stuffing that bus today.
Well, this next guest really doesn't need an introduction, but I'm going to introduce him anyways. It's Jim Diodati. He's the mayor of Niagara Falls, and he drops by every year to talk about what's happening with the city of Niagara Falls. So, Jim, how are things?
Things are great, Lori. I had to get my Christmas shirt on, Christmas socks on, Christmas underwear on. Too much information, but I'm ready to go.
You must be really noticing that there's a need in your Niagara Falls community. And how are your staff at the city helping to ease some of that burden that the residents are feeling right now?
Well, every event that we do, we always have the red Project Share bins all the time. So we're always collecting. We know people, it's been said many times, you can do without a lot of things, but not food. You have to eat. Once you get those basic needs taken over, you get a roof over someone's head, they can start to make good decisions. So we've been, every corner we turn, it's always around food. And food's very close and near to my heart as well. Matter of fact, I just dropped a bunch off at the, and I buy things that I like. I know some people will say, well, what's on sale, or we're not using this. I like to buy things, what would I like to eat? That's the kind of stuff I like to bring. Because I know when we did 10 Men in the Tent 15 years ago, I remember as I was at Project Share shopping for what I was going to eat, I thought, I want stuff that I like. Yes, nutritious, but you want something that you like as well. And it's Christmas, and you want kids to have a lot of fun food that they're going to enjoy and that's healthy.
Let's talk about that. 10 Men in a Tent was a huge fundraising campaign for Project Share about 15 years ago. And you were a part of that even before you became mayor. So you must really understand what Project Share means to Niagara, because you understand that you were actually a client at that time, living in a tent, understanding what it meant to be a part of that experience. How does it help you when you talk about food insecurity here in Niagara? How does it help to give you a different insight that maybe others wouldn't have experienced?
Well, it's a very different experience to hear about someone or to read about someone, but when you walk in their shoes, it's a very different experience. And that day we had an allotment, amount of money that we could spend. We had to plan for the week what we were going to eat, and was it nutritious? Was it tasty? Could you open the containers? How are you going to eat it? Do you have utensils? Like things that you don't really think about until you're in the situation. It reminded me of at City Hall before. One of our staff was on the disability committee, but until you sit in a wheelchair and try to get around, you don't truly appreciate the challenges. And similarly with food, and shelter, things we just take for granted every day. These are the kind of things that we can't assume. So it gave me a firsthand experience when we did 10 Men in the Tent, and I have to tell you, it made me more committed to the food cause and food security and insecurity issues.
So you also had to live in a tent for that week.
Yeah.
And the weather wasn't always so wonderful during that time. Sometimes you had some pretty rainy experiences. How are you helping to support the lack of housing that we're seeing in the Niagara region?
So Niagara Falls has taken an absolute leadership approach. Our old library on Victoria Avenue, the Carnegie building is now bridge housing. Now it's Wayne Campbell Bridge Housing. And we've got 22 units where we've got nurses on staff, counselors on staff, and we're trying to take those people who are living on the street, and a lot of these people have been doing it for so long, they've lost the ability to cook, take care of themselves. Just some of the domestic chores we maybe take for granted, a lot of them have to be retaught. How to cook your meals. You don't always eat out of a package. And of course, it's a lot less expensive if you can cook your meals versus buying, processed foods, and sometimes we take that shortcut. So we created that. Our downtown, our former market on Park Street downtown. In January, we're going to go to request for proposals to build an apartment building with an aspect of attainable and affordable housing. There's other units in town. We're working with developers so that a portion of all the units built will be for affordability and attainability. So we're making it part of, and it's funny, when I first got into politics a long time ago, when there were dinosaurs roaming the earth, I can tell you that then it wasn't on my agenda. It wasn't even on my mind. It wasn't even one of my platforms. But today, it has to be, because affordability, housing, those are two of the top things in the country right now. And how the world has changed. in the last 15 years is unbelievable. So we've made a commitment in the city. We're incentivizing developers to build more units because at the end of the day, it comes down to supply and demand. You need more supply if we're going to handle the demand.
Right. And I mean, we really need to think about how homelessness affects a family. So if somebody's having difficulty providing food, they may also be having difficulty providing shelter. That also means now that their children may have to change schools. That now means that they may need to locate a new employment. I mean, there's really a domino effect in process here.
You know, it's tough just to run a family if everything's going perfectly. I mean, if everyone's employed and everybody's got their health, and it's still tough because you're dealing with relationships and emotions and personalities and stresses of school and social pressures. My gosh, you add to the mix. You don't know where you're going to live next month, or we don't know what we're going to eat tomorrow or tonight, and we're hungry. And you add these, and it just exacerbates whatever problems they already have going on. That's why the first thing, put some food in their belly, give them healthy, nutritious food so that they can think straight, they can sleep better, make better decisions that'll affect their family and their futures. So there's no question about it. The challenges out there are probably more now than ever, and that's why Niagara Falls is so awesome. We circle the wagons in Niagara Falls, and when someone's having a challenge, we protect and take care of each other. And that's why in Niagara Falls we're very proud of the fact that we help fund Project Share, our food bank. And unlike most municipalities, they don't do that directly. We do. We put our money where our mouth is. And we know it was started originally as a temporary thing, but the world has changed, and unfortunately it's not going away anytime soon. And we have to make sure, regardless of what our intentions were, that's the need today, and we have to take care of it.
And are you hearing from your employees at the city as well that they're feeling the stressors of life as well?
I hear it all the time. You know, they're the people that you think they're all set, but some people are hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck. And there's the working poor and the people working multiple jobs just to get by. It's a real challenge for a lot of people. And again, we have to put ourselves into their hands. I've had people say I had to decide between rent and food. And I think I don't even know what to say to that. You know, I wish I could win a Powerball and help everybody, a Powerball lottery, but that's the thing. And since that's not necessarily an option, we just need to come together as a community, make sure their food, make sure their housing, make sure their counseling, make sure they've got all the basic needs that they have. And then hopefully from there, you know, they can plug into our system and get all the counseling and support that they need as well.
You know, Pam, how do you and Jim, you know, how do you sleep at night knowing that there's, you know, this need happening in your community? How do you not take the burdens on your shoulders and feel that you need to figure this all out on your own?
I mean, it's challenging some days, and certainly, you know, that we all have those stories that really tug at our heart that you hear or you see during the day, but I think we have to focus on the small victories that we can have every day. So we're not going to solve the housing crisis overnight, but, you know, my team got a family housed yesterday, and so that's a win, right? Mm-hmm. We go home knowing that that family has somewhere to sleep that night. Right. We go home knowing that 130 families have food to put on their table tonight because they came to us during a busy day. So those are the things that we have to focus on, while also continuing the conversation and the advocacy for how do we change the crisis that we're in and make it a community where everyone can meet their own basic needs.
And there you go, Jim, you're a part of this. You are. Well, I mean, you are helping to fund 130 families that got food on their table, a family that now has a place to live. It's got to give you some feeling of that, you know, that you are making some progress.
Well, I'd rather be a part of the solution than a part of the problem, so I'm happy that I am a part of it. And this is one of these things where it takes a village. Everybody needs to come together and realize there's no innocent bystanders. Mm-hmm. Everybody needs to participate, right? And that's great that you're okay and that your cupboard and your fridge is full. That's wonderful, and that's really great. But now, what's your legacy going to be, and how are you helping other people? And I think that's what it comes down to. We've been blessed, a lot of us. What are you doing to help other people? And that's what I ask people. That's great. What's your legacy going to be? What's the residual value going to be that you've brought to the table?
Important conversation today, Pam.
Absolutely.
Yes. Jim, you know what else is a part of your legacy?
What?
Christmas socks. Every year you come with Christmas socks, and we got to talk about them.
All right. Well, of course.
Okay, what do you have? You have Santa hats this year.
With a mustache.
And with a mustache, yes, you know what?
Yes.
I didn't even look that close. I have a bit of a problem with socks and ties. and pocket squares and a few other things. But I like the little accessories.
I like the shirt. I
Oh,
like the
thank you,
shirt.
thank you.
It's a little upscale from the tie that we usually see.
Right, see? All
See,
those
get in the
tacky dollar
Christmas
store
spirit.
ties that I wear, the kind that would catch on fire if I got too close to a candle. But but I like to get into the spirit of the season, whatever it is, and accessorize. And I've got, oh my gosh, so people then so my kids are saying, Dad, what do you want for Christmas, right? Because what do you need? And I say, you know what I want? Socks, right? Give me socks. So then they'll get me thematic, so seasonal. So whether it's Valentine's or St. Patrick's Day, or pick your fun season, right? Wear socks every day, make them fun.
I have Jack Custer's in my ear, and he's saying that you look very
From an event. So I'll dig that one up, and I think it'd be of
post
interest.
that one on your Facebook page.
Oh, yeah, especially, well, I think I might have to post that one out there. That Jack guy, I'll tell you, keep an eye on him.
Oh, Jack, get prepared. There's something coming your way. Jim Giodaddy, Mayor of Niagara Falls, always a pleasure. Thank you for coming
Thanks for
today.
having me.
All right, you know what else is always a pleasure? Riverview Public School is here again. It is tradition to hear them sing those beautiful songs in time for our holiday season. Ladies and gentlemen, Riverview Public School. Pam, do you have any fruitcake that you can send to Riverview Public School?
No fruitcake, but lots of gratitude. They've been a wonderful partner for us. The students participated in the challenge and shared their talents with us here this morning. So thank you to Riverview Choir.
I have to say, it really doesn't feel like the Good News Breakfast without having Riverview here sharing their wonderful talents with us.
Absolutely. It's a great touch to add to our morning.
Absolutely. Another great touch to our morning is sitting at the table now. We have the MPP for Niagara Falls, Niagara of the Lake, and Fort Erie. It's Wayne Gates, but he really doesn't need an introduction. But we're going to give him one.
Yes, for sure. Good morning, Wayne.
Good morning. Thanks for having me today. Yes, I enjoyed the choir from Riverview. Great job. Sure.
Yeah, we're so nice to have them, and you.
Well, thank you.
So Wayne, you have been really busy. Your name is in the news all the time. I hear Wayne Gates, Wayne Gates. What's been happening for you?
Well, we've had lots of issues at Queen's Park. I think the biggest one for me this week really was the fact that the government decided after getting the AG report to not continue to stay at Queen's Park, and so we scheduled for Thursday. We're scheduled for next week, and they decided to cancel it. And I really believe, you know, it's a time of Christmas, time with family and all that, but the reality is that we have some big issues out there. The one we're talking about today, you know, with food insecurity. And I believe that we should have stayed at Queen's Park, talked about some of the issues that are important, our crisis in healthcare, our crisis in affordability. You know, our seniors are really struggling to buy their groceries. And the only place that we get to challenge the government and say, you know, we got to improve, we got to do better. We're all elected to do one thing, whether you're a Liberal, a Conservative, an NDP, or a Green Party, is to make sure our residents are taken care of. And every day that you're not at Queen's Park, questioning the government on those type of things, particularly with some of the results of the AG report around long-term care, crisis in healthcare, I think that's a missed opportunity. I'm going to be very honest. I love being in my riding. You know, I love going to events. I love meeting people. I like talking to people. But the big issues and the big questions are done through question period, bills, and committees. So very, very disappointed on that front. Some of the things that I'm really, Movember just happened. I put forward a bill for prostate cancer and for making sure that the tests are covered by OHIP. I think it would save men's lives, which is important. There are dads and our grandparents, and quite frankly, it could be me. The PSA bill is really, really important to me, and I'm hoping that the government takes another look at that. There's some things that are important, but I already touched on things that we're really struggling with, and that's healthcare, affordability. They're all the issues that I think are important to all of us, and it's important to have this to heighten the awareness of what's going on in Niagara. Quite frankly, it isn't just a Niagara Falls problem, it's a Niagara problem. It's a problem right across Ontario's the affordability crisis, and what effect does that have on our food banks? And as we know, here in Niagara, I was shocked at the stat, 1 in 8 people are using our food banks today, a 71% increase over last year. And so we've got to have that discussion. You take a look at the choir today, it looked like there's about 25 there. And if you look at the stats, it's saying 1 in 4 children are using food banks today. That's really eye-opening. So we've got lots of challenges that I think, again, I always say thanks to YourTV, because it's important to get that message out. So people that do maybe have a little more than others can share to make sure that kids aren't going to bed at this time of year, particularly around Christmas time. So there's some of the things that are going on and what's going on this morning as well.
You know, Pam, Wayne just brought up a really great talking point. He was mentioning about seniors and affordability. Really, the need that you've been seeing is really across the age range.
It is, but we certainly have seen an increase in the number of seniors accessing our food bank over the past few years, as well as the number of employed individuals coming to the food bank as well, still not able to make ends meet. So unfortunately, that is a growing population for us.
So Wayne, you must be hearing that while you're out and about at events, that people must be approaching you and asking how your government can help to make the ease a little bit better for our Niagara families.
Well, I believe we've given these suggestions to not only the Conservatives but the Liberals over the last number of years. I believe that, to your point, you're absolutely right. What's happening at our food banks that we didn't see for a long, long time is, quite frankly, they're coming to food banks even though they're working full-time jobs. So what we need to do is make sure that we have good paying jobs in Niagara. those type of payments like ODSP, you can't live on around $1,100-$1,200 a month today. When you rent, you can't find a place that you can rent for less than $1,700-$1,800 for a one-bedroom apartment. I know in Fort Erie the wait list is like 20 years to get a one-bedroom apartment. That's a lifetime. So we have to do better. There are some issues that I think we can do better. Good paying jobs is one. Social assistance is another way that increase those support programs for people. Because what I'm hearing from food banks right across the province, quite frankly, we met with Feed Ontario at Queen's Park last week and took a look at all the stats that are out there. We got to do better, and there are some solutions. At the end of the week, they're not, first stop isn't the bank to cash their check, or it's go to the food bank. And the food bank is struggling with the incredible increase. As a matter of fact, they're not even sure, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not so sure about Project Share, but I know the food banks are concerned they're not going to have enough food to supply the incredible need that they have. They're not sure they're going to have the money to continue to have the staff. And I think what you're seeing and what I'm hearing, because you're asking me what I'm hearing and think, some of the people that have been volunteering for Project Share for a long, long time are now seniors. They're now using the food bank as if, they're giving up. They're never expecting to be needing that assistance. But guess what? That's happening in our community. And, it's tough on Project Share to meet all the needs, and it weighs on the employees because the employees care. That's one thing about your organization, right? I mean, that's why it's one of my charities of choice, is they care. They want to make it better. They want to make our community better. They want to get a message so that we can get solutions, because the key is to get solutions. It's one thing to always complain, but you got to come across with some solutions. And I've given you a couple solutions that would help immediately. No child should go to bed hungry at night. No senior should have to skip lunch or breakfast or supper, have one meal a day, sometimes 2 meals a day. And then food is a big basics, because if you're not eating properly, you're not eating healthy, you end up with other issues. You end up with diabetes and some of those issues. You're not eating the right foods. Mm-hmm. So what you invest in social assistance and good paying jobs, you save in healthcare as well. So it's a big complete circle that we have solutions. We just got to have the will to do it. That's a lot of the stuff I'm hearing. Particular, surprisingly, I think a lot of people who listen to your show are seniors. I know a lot of seniors, nobody admits they listen to YourTV. It's not what happened, but they do. There's a lot of listeners out there, whether it be this show, whether it be city councils, regional councils, and seniors are hurting out there as well as our kids. We can do better, and we're going to have to do better. And to your point, we need solutions, and I'll give you a couple that I think we could do right away.
Okay. No, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're totally right. There is a cost of poverty, and we can do better. And as you mentioned, there are a lot of people watching that maybe have not admitted or come through our doors and asked for help yet. And we want to assure anyone who is in Niagara Falls and who needs our support that we are here. No questions asked. You just have to be a resident of Niagara Falls to come in our doors and access our services. And even if you're not, we're still going to help you out the first time and connect you to the food bank in your community. So certainly, we're here to help. We know it's a hard time for a lot of people.
MPP Wayne Gates, you're always out there working hard for us, and we really appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. I just want to say, Project Share doesn't handle food. Our office calls you a lot for other issues. It wouldn't be a bad idea to even mention what some of those other issues that they can come to you and provide that service. Because I know Shannon and Josh and Quinn, we probably call you quite a bit to direct people to your services. But on behalf of my office, I want to say thank you very much. I want to say, because it's that time of year, I want to thank all the first responders who are going to have to work. To say to all your listeners, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. It's all about family. Enjoy your time with your family, and hope to see you soon. So thank you for having me this morning. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Wayne. It really is a partnership. We enjoy working with your office, and I know sometimes you get those calls where people don't know where to go. So we appreciate the referrals. And for anyone watching, you can find a full list of our programs and services available at projectshare.ca.
Thanks, Wayne, for being here. And Pam, we haven't seen the bus in the parking lot for a while. I wonder what's happening out there.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
I have to say, this is one of my most favorite parts of the Good News Breakfast. It's time for Cram the Cruiser.
Yes, we're so excited that this partnership is back once again. You can see the cruiser pulling into our parking lot right now. We're excited to see the donations coming off of that.
Cram the Cruiser, such an important part of the Good News Breakfast, as I just mentioned. And also important, we have Deputy Chief Flynn and Deputy Forty are here from the Niagara Regional Police to tell us all about what really is this initiative. And it's been for a few years now.
Absolutely. Can you share with us a little bit about what Cram a Cruiser is?
Sure. Good morning, and my apologies. It's just Deputy Flynn this morning.
Oh, sorry. Good morning.
We're all going in different directions. So, yeah, Cram the Cruiser is something that we've been doing and our members will come in with items, and then also what happens during that time is that we have units, who might not be bringing in items, but they'll have money that they'll donate over a period of time, and then members of our core unit, our community-oriented response and engagement unit, will go out and buy extra food items with that money, and all leading up till today when they come in.
Well, it's wonderful. We're so grateful for this tradition, and it really does look like that cruiser is crammed out there in the parking lot. You mentioned the core unit, and that is a team that we work very closely with at Project Share.
Right.
Can you share with our viewers a little bit about that program and what that looks like?
Yeah, it really has been, an evolution over the last couple of years. We have our members on the front line, and a lot of the work they do really has to be reactive. It's reacting to a multitude of calls that are stacked all the time, and we've really done our best to try and create other members who are our frontline members, but are actually doing work proactively and trying to take a little bit of that burden off of our frontline response. And what we've managed to do with organizations like yourselves and others in St. Catharines is really create an environment where we can try and get ahead of it, where we can go and seek out people that we think might need our help, whether it's people who are living in shelters, in tents, people in our community that to a great degree we have a lot of contact with just because of their needs on a daily basis. So, rather than just keep going back and seeing them 3 and 4 and 5 times a week, we try to get to the point where we can actually connect them with some of the services they need, either if they don't know about it or they're just not in a position to be able to access them by themselves. And it actually, gets the rest of our community partners engaged so that they can make a meaningful, change for people's lives.
Well, I certainly commend you and your team for the work that you're doing, because it has really been a wonderful partnership. I know we've worked very closely together to support individuals that we're seeing that really are in a severe crisis and need that response beyond our agency at Project Share. So the compassion and the expertise that we've seen from your team and the relationships that we've seen them build with some of our most vulnerable community members has really been positive.
That's
so
terrific.
Thank you for all of that.
No, I appreciate it, and I see it on a daily basis when I come in. Sergeant Medill, Constable Scott McGill, Mike Malachowski, they're amazing humans. They do such a great job in our community, and they're passionate about what they do.
Yeah, well, it truly shows. So from, the donations collected to the service provided on a daily basis, it's such a great community partnership, and we're so grateful.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And we are going to see, actually, Cram the Cruiser is going to be being emptied right now in the parking lot. So let's go take a look to see what we got.
Even just for a school or two, it's an incredible experience for sure. Yeah.
Kids are they were so excited. My daughter days ago.
Okay. Trying to steal all your brownie points.
Well, they had some going with the pizza or something, just to set something up. So yeah, we were at the Loretta yesterday.
Yeah.
We were there.
I think that Pam, the Riverview Public School Choir, is enjoying their successes a little bit here at the Greg Frewin Theatre.
They may have had the chocolate chip muffins this morning.
They just may have. If you're just tuning in, we are live here at the Greg Frewin Theatre in Niagara Falls. It is the 2023 Morrison Pharmasave Good News Breakfast. It's Lori Taraba and is Executive Director of Project Share. Joining me today, it is Pamela Sharp. And Pam, you know, we do have two more amazing individuals here at the table with the Niagara Falls Firefighters, and it is Michael Audibert, and I want to make sure I got it right, Dave McCauley. And well, how important is it to Project Share to have the professional firefighters on board as well?
It's very important. We have had a long-standing partnership together with so many of your departments throughout your association. Can you share a little bit with our viewers about the work that's done throughout the year, you know, the recruit class food drives and all of the campaigns you do to help Project Share?
Yeah, so I'll get started here. We do a bunch of events with the community throughout the year, and Project Share is just one of them that we always stay involved with, mainly with our food drive that we do with our recruit classes. But this year we had a big one. The biggest one actually was the 2023 calendar that we put together. So we had a $17,000 donation raised from that. Part of that went to our PR account, which then goes back into local community groups and donations from our association. We also had the Mayor's Barbecue, which we did a truck pull at. We did a book move for Birchway for their book riot. And again, Project Share, the biggest one. I'll let Mike talk about that a little bit, but that was our biggest one. We do it every year. We have a recruit class starting.
Yeah, so I'm one of the newest recruits with the Niagara Falls Fire Department, starting back in June, and one of the long-standing traditions that Dave referred to is the fact that the new recruits always put on a fundraiser in support of community agencies, and of course this past year we were so happy to be able to do that in support of Project Share. This year what we did actually was a full day boot drive fundraiser at Zayers. We had set a goal of $5,000. We're lucky enough to have some support from the business community through sponsorships ahead of time. The day of the event though was just unbelievable, just seeing the support from the community. We exceeded our goal, raising $10,000 in cash. And then another close to $5,000 in food donations that went back to Project Share. So it was an unbelievable day, and of course we're so honored and happy to support the great work that Project Share does in the community.
Well, thank you so much for that. We're always amazed by the creativity that comes out of the recruit class. I know there's been some really different things over the years. The one year we had recruits walking from Freshco back to the station on Lundy's Lane. I think you've been on the roof at Sayers before. So we're always amazed by the support that comes through, and the community response to your initiatives is always wonderful as well.
Yeah. So while you're here each year, we always talk about the education piece. I actually had an amazing visit to my door this fall, part of your education program, and I received this little
since COVID, we've been on pause for that event or that initiative, and what it is just getting door to door, reminding everybody about fire safety in the home escape plans, and then the best locations for your smoke alarms, and changing batteries during the time changes as well.
I have to say that one of the most important takeaways from that visit was that we know it's important to change your batteries, especially during the time changes. But what I didn't realize was that smoke detectors and CO2 detectors have shortened lifespans, and that when you purchased them 20 years ago, doesn't mean it's going to work today.
That's right. They're only about 10 years is what they say for a lifespan, and that's usually the maximum. Sometimes they end up being only about 8 years.
8 years. Wow, I didn't even know that. Mm-hmm. So it's important to do a test all the time to make sure that they're working.
Should be checking them monthly is a good time frame to check them.
Have you been finding that with the increased technology use in homes that you're seeing that's also a new part of what you're facing when you go to a fire call?
There's a lot more monitored systems that go off, say if someone burns the toast. That automatically gets your monitoring company to call us, and we're on our way, maybe before you have a chance to shut them off. Other than that, the interconnected systems, being hardwired, it's a lot more difficult for us when we show up. There's a lot of different hardwired smoke alarms, so we can't carry them all on the trucks. We just carry battery operated smoke alarms, plug-in CO monitors. So it's difficult. Sometimes you have to call in an electrician to replace all the alarms in the home.
Expensive too, especially when you're trying to make ends meet.
Yeah,
But important.
For sure.
You don't want to be on the other end of that situation.
Yes,
for sure.
exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Dave and Mike, for coming here today and sharing all your great news. And talk about the great news. They're still unloading the cruiser in the parking lot, Pam.
Oh my
so
goodness.
Let's go take a peek and see what's happening.
Please keep the volume on your devices low so other passengers aren't disturbed.
Now we're doing it there. Some smaller ones.
Wow, there was so much good news happening on the bus, Pam. We actually took an extra long parking lot shot just to see all that stuff being loaded onto the bus.
It's so great to see.
You know what else is great to see? That we still have Mike and Dave with us at the table from the Niagara Falls Fire Department, because we have some extra good news that they wanted to share with us today. Briley, what is that extra great news?
Lovely check presentation on behalf of the Niagara Falls Fire Department.
Oh, yay! Congratulations! Thank you so much. $500. Where was this money's raised from?
This goes through all the work our association does throughout the year. So it comes out of our PR account, and we know it's needed this time of year. And sometimes Project Share, the best thing to get is some money to fill the gaps on the shelves. So that's why I was always like, not coming here empty-handed.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Another $500, Pam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us today.
Thank you for being here. And you know what, Pam, another really great initiative is the Cold Feet program with Dina Elefante. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, so we've talked a lot this morning about all of the other programs and services that Project Share offers, that we are not just a food bank. I think food is what we are very well known for in the community, but this program was started by the Elefante family in memory of Carmen's father. So Carmen, as Dina's late husband, before he passed away, he ran this program in memory of his father, who was a shoemaker. So the concept behind this program is that they do not want anyone in our community to have cold feet in the winter months. They want to make sure that everyone has proper footwear. And as families are struggling to meet their basic needs, sometimes a new pair of boots is not within the budget. And so we see families walking in our door sometimes, wearing sandals in cold weather, wearing, footwear that's not proper for the elements. So we have a donor designated fund that allows us to provide them with a gift card to go buy some winter boots to make sure that everyone's got warm feet this winter.
So is it Dina who's actually helping to provide some of those funds?
Yes, so this is a family-run fund at Project Share. So they do a couple different things to help raise funds throughout the year. I know Dina's daughter is doing a bake sale and working really hard to raise additional funds to help support that program.
Do you know approximately how many pairs of boots you're able to give out per year?
It all depends on the funds raised and what the need is in our community, but certainly all of our client support workers are aware of this program, and they kind of identify clients as they come in that they can visually see don't have the proper footwear, and so we're going to make sure that they get taken care of through that fund.
So really it depends on what boots are needed. Maybe you're outfitting children for school. Maybe you're outfitting a senior that needs to have some footwear, so it really depends on the client.
Absolutely.
Anything else that you can add about the Cold Feet program?
I mean, we're just so grateful to the family for, it's a wonderful legacy that they're continuing, both in memory of Carmen and his father, who were very dedicated to making sure that everyone in our community had warm footwear for the winter season. So we're so grateful for that support, and it really truly makes a huge difference for our clients.
You know, we talk about community support and how important it is, but what makes a real big difference for us is the generosity of Greg and Alana Frewin. If it wasn't for them allowing us to be in their building today, again, for another year, the Good News Breakfast would not be the success it is for Project Share.
Absolutely. They are wonderful hosts, and we're so grateful for that.
And we're so happy that they're actually at the table. Hello,
Hi,
Greg
how
and
are you
Alana.
guys today?
So nice to see you this year. And Alana, I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's very holiday.
Very festive.
It's very festive. Greg, amazing show earlier. Thank you so much for lending us your talents again this year for the
My
Good News
pleasure.
Breakfast.
It's so good to be back.
Yeah, so last year at the table you announced your retirement.
Yes.
And today we got to see you perform again. How
Yes.
special was that?
Well, and so maybe I'll give you a little more insight. I'm going to come out of retirement for a while. Not ready to really retire yet. It turned out that sitting on the couch wasn't as fun as I thought it would be. And to be honest with you, my dad retired really early, and that was one of my goals in life, was to retire young, because he did. But then I realized
Helping, you're in your workshop, you're on the stage, plus you're mentoring new talent, and then just to go to home. It had to have been difficult.
very difficult. And you know, the hard part was, it wasn't the work side of it that I missed, it was being in front of the audience, which I never would have thought. I mean, I enjoyed it, but what I realized is it's the joy that I can give to people.
Right.
That was the part that was really missing, that I really missed. And so since I've been back, for me, it's been great, because I look out at the crowd now and I'm connecting differently with them, because as much as I enjoyed it before, I'm really realizing why I'm on that stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Alana, how does it feel to have him back doing the thing that he loves the most?
It just makes him a lot happier, so.
Keeps me out of her hair.
And that too. I wasn't going to say that, but you brought it up, so yeah. It keeps him busy and out of trouble.
So let's talk about the Greg Frewin Theatrical Center. So exactly what is that?
Well, the reason why we changed the name is because we have a lot more products now under our roof, and a new exciting one coming up this spring. So during the day now, we have the which used to be called the IMAX, the Niagara Falls IMAX. Now it's I'm getting the name wrong here. The Niagara Daredevil Museum and Movie. Which is great. It's a whole movie on all the Daredevil barrels and all that stuff, which is an amazing movie, all done in huge 4K surround sound, and it's amazing. We're also gonna this spring be launching a new show called Canadiana, and it's gonna be a tribute to Canada and the music of Canada, some of the old and some of the new. And I think it's gonna be a product that's really gonna fit well with tourists and with the locals. So for that, we're gonna be a lot more than just my show. So it's now a theatrical center versus just the Greg Frewin Theatre.
Sounds like you are reinvigorated.
Yes, much so. And you know, I'm also working with other magicians, as you mentioned earlier, including one of my female assistants who's been with me 16 years. She's now doing magic, and she just went on Penn and Teller Fool Us 3 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And she fooled them, the first female Canadian to ever fool Penn and Teller.
That is amazing.
Yes, so come and see that, because she'll blow you away. Her magic's amazing.
Just before we wrap things up, I just want to talk to you again about your generosity in providing the Greg Frewin Theatre here for our Good News Breakfast. We know that this is an important day for you, but what does it mean to be back?
Well, you know, it's always been important to us. You know, we've been working with you guys for a lot of years, and this is actually, for me, this is where Christmas starts. Up until now, it's just been, okay, we're moving along, getting ready, but today's the day that, for us, launches Christmas, because it's such a great thing for the locals and for the people that are in need. So we've been a big supporter, and we're always going to be a big supporter.
Yes.
And we thank everybody for all their contributions and all that they do. It's amazing. It's not just us. We're just a very small little part of it, right? So if we can be that part every year, we're very happy.
We're also very happy that Alana is a very big supporter of YourTV Niagara, and Jack Custers is in my ear saying thank you very much for making sure that he was well taken care of last night, because Jack is actually the one that comes here every year and he sets up to make sure that we are ready to go in the morning, and he just wanted to say thank you, Alana, for making sure that everything was running beautifully smooth for him. And so thank you from Jack.
We have to take care of Jack, absolutely.
Well, thank you very much for taking care of us this morning and making sure that we are all well and taken care of. But let's take a look at the bus and see how it's going with all those wonderful donations. Red barrels on that bus, do you think?
It's looking great.
It's looking great. And are you the one that's having to unload it later?
We've got a crew, a good team
All
effort.
ready to go?
Yes.
You know who else is a really great team is the team at Camiso's, and Rocco Camiso is here to chat with us about his anniversary sale and all the great news he has to share about that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rocky.
Good morning.
So we have been partnering together for, I've lost track of how many years now.
Oh, it's been 13 years.
13, oh my goodness. So we've been a part of your anniversary campaign, which happens every November. Can you share a little bit about what that campaign looks like and how the support is raised?
Be happy to. So every November we celebrate our anniversary, and this year was our 13th year. And as you said, we partner with Project Share to put on a food drive during a 2-week campaign, and we celebrate it not just with putting specials and sales on, which we do, but also to encourage our customers and our vendors and community partners to help with the food drive. We incent our customers with these fantastic gift cards. You know, we had a great winner this year, a $500 gift card. You know, for supporting the campaign. But I can tell you that we can't do it without our customers. They've been so supportive, and I was very surprised this year that we raised $15,000 from that campaign, because just the way things are this year, you know, people are really watching their money and their spend, and but everybody came through. Our customers, our vendors, our staff were unbelievable through the whole thing. Young's Insurance was part of it. Project Share, of course, is there to support in many ways, so it was just fantastic.
$15,000, that is an incredible total. And as you said, it really comes from your staff, your customers, your vendors. Like, we're always just blown away by the support that comes through your store. So it's always such an incredible thing to see when people are having a celebration and they think of others as part of that celebration. You know, a lot of times, you know, birthdays and things like that, it's about the person who's celebrating, but you make it about the community that you're operating in and giving back to that community. So thank you so much, because this is an incredible donation that will really help feed a lot of families.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Very happy to be part of it.
But I hear that Briley has a little bit of a check presentation from you today.
Do I stay seated or do I stand up?
It's official when we get the big check, Pam.
It is $15,000 from Camiso's anniversary. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome.
Oh, wow. $15,000. I mean, I cannot wait to see that total at the end today, Pam, because you got another $15,000 check to add on to it.
It's incredible. You know, every year we wonder, as we see more clients, is the community going to be able to step up and help us meet that need? Because more people coming to our food bank, you know, means less people are able to give. And, you know, we're always so amazed and touched by how generous those who can give are. And I'm really excited to see what that grand total is as well.
Thank you so much for being here. $15,000 would not be possible without you, so thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me, and it's our pleasure to do
like being at Project Share on a weekly basis, as well as representing the St. Vincent de Paul Society at St. Patrick Church, who is a very generous donor of our Christmas program. So we have a lot of churches that support our Christmas program and help us purchase the grocery gift cards that we give out to families. So I had a chance to chat with both her and Cliff in the studio, and we're going to have a look at what that interview was like.
I'm here at the studio with our next guests who are representing the St. Vincent de Paul Society at St. Patrick's Roman Catholic Church. Bruna, you are representing both St. Vincent de Paul Society as well as some of the Project Share volunteers. You've been a volunteer with Project Share now for some time. Can you share with us what motivated you to become involved with Project Share?
I've been doing it for years, not time-wise because I was working full-time. I was involved with special projects, like special events, out of the cold, the coldest walk of the year. I was going around picking up the bags, you know, when we used to fill up bags on the corner steps. So anyway, I've been doing that for over 40 years. I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, yeah. So and now that I'm retired, I'm working inside Project Share and doing the personal shopping.
Yes, you've been a regular face in our food room. And what is that experience like for you, being at Project Share every week and helping the families who are coming to us receive their emergency food?
It's been great. I mean, it's devastating to see the numbers of people. It just blows me away that 1 in 8 families are coming to Project Share, and it's packed.
Yeah, it's certainly an alarming need right now, but we couldn't meet that need without the support of our volunteers. So we really appreciate you being a friendly face there every week to help support our clients.
Thank you.
And you are part of the St. Vincent de Paul Society at St. Patrick's Roman Catholic Church, which has been a long-time partner with Project Share, especially with our Christmas program. So joining you is Cliff. Cliff, you want to share a little bit about your experience working with Project Share's Christmas program every year?
Yeah, it's been great. It's evolved over the years from the way we used to do it. Our conferences supported the single adults over the years, and we used to hand out the cards at our parish hall. And then, of course, COVID came and things changed, and then you've initiated some positive changes with us now going to St. Andrew's Church and participating there. In addition, our cards are being handed out at Project Share itself, which is reducing the transportation costs that people were incurring to come to our hall. So they're at the same time they're picking up their food, they can also pick up the cards that we provide.
Absolutely. So for our viewers at home who may not be as familiar, singles and couples without children are receiving those gift cards that are generously donated by so many community partners, including your wonderful organization. And we're giving those out right through our emergency food program at Project Share. And then families with children are receiving that assistance at St. Andrew's. So your donation has been a huge part of our ability to help make sure that none of our neighbors go hungry this holiday season. And I know we're going to have a volunteer group from your organization come and join us in another week. So do you want to share a little bit about what that experience is like for you?
That's been a really positive one. I was just there last year just to get a sense of what was going on, but the feedback from the members who actually did the volunteer work, they felt very engaged and very gratified at the end of that, and it was more interactive than just coming to the hall and receiving a card and going back out the door. They had a chance to spend some time with people, and one of the 2 core tenets of our organization is to actually interact with people. So that fulfilled that side of it.
So we're going to be there on December 9th for the day, and then as well on December 11th for the morning. Yeah, and that's very similar to the back to school program. So that way you get to meet actually the people that you're serving. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're looking forward to having your groups be a part of that. Now, your donation to our Christmas program, how is that raised within the St. Vincent de Paul Society?
Okay, so we have several streams of income. The parishioners are donating to us. We have partnerships with other groups like the Stamford Center Volunteer Firemen, the Optimist, and there's the Knights of Columbus, of course. But the majority of our funds comes from our work with Ontario charity gaming. The Delta Bingo proceeds, our members work there. We probably do about 18 bingos a year, so the majority of the funds come from that. And of course, working with Pat Gaston, it's been great, and it all comes together at Christmas time.
Well, we really appreciate your support, and I know we're not the only organization that you do support. So thank you for all you do for the community. That's certainly good news to share here today. So thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Pam, such a great interview with Bruna. She's such an amazing Project Share supporter.
Yes, we have so many wonderful volunteers, and we're so grateful for their help.
We are also very grateful to Linus Hand, and he is here for amazing production that's taking place on our stage. Let's take a look.
I was just like you, my child, slightly insecure. Argue with my mother too, thought I wasn't sure. Last I put my heart aside and I used my head. Now I think it's time to learn what dear old mama said. Don't you want to be evil like me? Don't you want to be mean? Don't you want to make mischief your daily routine? Well, you can spend your life pretending to the floor. But when you're evil, doing less is doing more. Don't you want to be ruthless and absolute and mad? Don't you want to be very, very good at being bad? I have tried my whole life long to do the worst I can, clawed my way to victory, built my master plan. Now this time has come, my dear, for you to take your place. Promise me you'll try to be absolute disgrace. Don't you want to be evil like me? Don't you want to be cruel? Don't you want to be nasty and brutal and cruel? And when you grab that gun, that's when your baby begins. Who wants an evil queen without a stack of stamps? Don't you want to be heartless and hard and stone? Don't you want to be flanker and evil to the bone? This is not for us to ponder. This is preordained. You and I shall rule together, freedom to regain. Mysteries of the universe, powers golden dawn. Daughter, hear me, help me, join me. Won't you sing along? Never gonna be evil, it's true. Never gonna be twice. Never gonna be spiteful, yes, spiteful. That's nice. In just an hour to the future season. This mother direct is going out of time. If you want to be evil and awful and free, then you should take your lucky star that you were born for war. The daughter of evil is made like monster. No, they are the monsters. What the heck are we supposed to do now? Take the right back. You're right. Or we could just let them on ourselves. No! You came back! What changed your mind? You, my mother, and an angry mom. So, what's our plan? Well, that's step one and swim the aisle. Guys, we still have to get past that team. How? Distract her? I guess I'll steal it. Take it from Carlos. And I'll be ready to ride. It's not a dark, we're gonna teach you all the lessons. Do what we have to do and lessons back in station. We'd like to feel it, gotta lead us to the treasure. Alright, that cannot get any better. Long live having some fun. We get what we want. There's so many ways to be winning with a single root is on. The right side of wrong. There's so many ways to be wicked on. Please just let our word pass every test. Looking in my head, eagle is the only real way to we got all the ways to be W-I-C-K-E. Mirror, mirror on the wall. W-I-C-K-E. Who's the baddest? Look at them all. W-I-C-K-E.
And we're back. Oh my goodness, that production was amazing by Linda's hand.
It was. My daughter went through a Descendants phase, so I was right into all those songs.
It's amazing. And we have two more wonderful guests sitting at the table with us. Pam, who are they today?
We do. We're joined by Stephen from The Bridge and Third Space Cafe, and Judy from Niagara Falls Community Outreach, also known as the Soup Kitchen. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
This morning we've been talking a lot about how Project Share doesn't exist on its own. We're part of a system of supports within the community, and really as the need grows in our community, it's requiring us to collaborate even more to be able to meet that need. Stephen, can you share a little bit about what our partnership looks like and what your program is at Third Space Cafe?
Yeah, sure, thanks. So yeah, I'm from The Bridge, and Bridge in partnership with Third Space Cafe, which we founded. We do an everyday breakfast, a nutritious breakfast for between 50 and they come in and have breakfast. And that everyday nature of it is demanding. And like you said, we can't do it alone. And so we need each other. And one of the benefits that we are really thankful for is the connection with Project Share. Every Thursday we stop by and do a pickup. And often when we call, we know that your resources are stretched too. And yet you always find something to pass along, which makes our work and our mission just a lot more easier to do. So that working together is pretty significant. Okay.
Yeah, it really is. And your group has led a new project called Better Together, bringing some of our community partners together. Can you share with us what that's looking like?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so thanks to the funding from United Way, a generous grant through the Community Services Recovery Fund, we have had the opportunity to gather all the major players and stakeholders responding to homelessness in particular, but also involved in missions organizations who are serving those who are in vulnerable places. And one of the things that we observed is that we're all busy in our own corners, we're doing our own thing, but we're not always connecting, or at least that we could grow in connecting more, collaborating more. Believe it or not, there can even be a competitive element to the not-for-profit world. We're all kind of clawing from some of the same funding pots. And so we just observed that we can't live in isolation. It's not our strength. We need to work together. And so we gathered, we're calling it the Better Together Roundtable Collaborative. And we have, the buy-in was significant, about 20 people from, we have Project Share, we have the Soup Kitchen, we have people from EMS, we have people from Gateway and NASO, the Niagara sort of street outreach. We're all serving the same people, beautiful people of our community, and now we're in a circle saying, how can we do that more in concert together in a supportive way? And it's been tremendous, actually.
Well, I know we're grateful to be a part of those conversations, and Judy, we've worked together for a long time as well in serving our community and making sure that nobody's going hungry. Can you share with us some of the good news and things that are happening with the Soup Kitchen?
Well, the Soup Kitchen, as probably everybody knows, has gone to at the door service. We're doing lunch every day, and so we felt that we were missing a segment of people that couldn't get to the kitchen at lunch, maybe people that are working, maybe children, and so we opened a community fridge program. The casino donated a refrigerator for us, and they're actually going to be donating the meals for that particular evening. We're open Tuesday evening from 5 till 6, and we've just been going for about a month now. And so our numbers are increasing on that, and last week we had some children coming, and so I think that there is a need. We just have to get it out there of, the people that need to be there. So that's how we have expanded this year. We're very proud of that, and we're hoping to maybe do a Thursday night as well, and but we're just going to see how this pilot project goes for Tuesdays, and we'll kind of go from there.
Well, that's certainly good news. Thank you both for being here with us this morning and for all the work that you do to help ensure that none of our neighbors go hungry. We're really proud to partner with both of your agencies.
Us as well.
Thank you.
The Christmas basket program is actually a large part of what you do during the holiday season for your clients.
It sure is, and that's where the stuff, the bus donations that we keep going to, we keep showing on the screen, all of that is going to help support families that come to us this Christmas.
And from what I understand, the clients actually go to St. Andrew's Church to actually to collect those baskets. Is that correct?
They do. We've been so grateful for that partnership and using their space, because it's a much larger gym that we can use to set up for a Christmas program and help us meet more families.
And I hear that you recently had a chance to talk to Nancy Robinson from the church about what she does to help to provide for this Christmas season.
I did. I met her in the studio earlier this week, and I think we're going to take a look at that right now.
Our next guest in the studio is Nancy, who is the board chair at St. Andrew's United Church. Nancy, St. Andrew's has been a wonderful community partner with Project Share. Can you share with our viewers a little bit about that?
Sure. We are located not far from the downtown area, in close proximity to Project Share, and they have over the years seemed like a natural partner for us. Our hope as a church family is to listen to the community, not to assume that we know what people need, but to hear the community say, this is what we need. And so we are actively looking for partners in the community to work with, and Project Share has been a natural for us. We've loved our connection with them.
Oh, well, thank you. It's been so important to us, too, and it's been a long-time partnership that we've grown a lot over the years. Our Christmas program distribution is actually happening on site right now at St. Andrew's.
Yes,
so for viewers who aren't aware, we do use the church gym to distribute our Christmas program out of that. So that space has been really impactful for us and our ability to serve more families who are coming to us at Christmas.
One of our favorite years that you did that was the year that we had ripped the pews out of the sanctuary, and you actually and the shelter was running in our gym that year, and so we had our sanctuary door. And so, yeah, we're grateful for the connection that we've had with Project Share over the years. In this past year, our outreach and social action team has kept the different needs of Project Share, at least the food and items that are needed. And so we've had monthly suggested or themed giving time. So there was, baby products, vegetables, the different things. So we've tried to find ways to keep people engaged and not just become blind to the red barrels as they walk by.
Well, that's wonderful, because it certainly is a year-round partnership. I mean, the support you give at Christmas time is so important to us, but it does, it continue year-round in terms of, the partnership that we have and the referrals that we're able to make to your shoulder-to-shoulder program.
Yes.
Can you share with our viewers what that program is about and how we work together on that?
I can. Shoulder to Shoulder was birthed, I actually want to say the last time that I chaired the board, and we had gone away for a weekend to try to figure out what some next steps were, and we decided that we wanted to stand shoulder to shoulder with the community. No sense of hierarchy, right? Like we're just all in this together. And for years, St. Andrews had run a nearly new shop out of the basement of the church building, but we moved it up and wanted it to be a little higher priority, more accessible for people, especially since sometimes people who are at a take care of our volunteers. A lot of them are retired folks, and getting up and down the stairs was difficult. And so everything that comes into Shoulder to Shoulder is volunteer donated. We sell it at very reasonable prices. It's good quality. They're good quality items, and everything that is any money that is made on those sales goes right back into the community, sometimes into things happening in our church, but the ladies use that money to purchase cribs and strollers and car seats for families that might not be able to afford them, and so that money goes right back out. And I understand that people can they get a card from you, and so I think once a month they can come to the shop and they can get a free outfit or a free coat or something like that. So I love that that connection has happened, and our hope is to be creative and find other ways that we can partner more and more with Project Share.
Well, we really appreciate it. The clothing program certainly is a big need in our community. We give out a lot of your cards to our clients who come to us asking for that clothing support. And it was certainly a way for us to make use of an existing community resource without duplicating that. And I know that the need has grown so much for that program now that you've added in a second day that clients can go and visit and receive their clothing items. And with that card from us, it's free of charge. So it's another way that you are, as you said, standing shoulder to shoulder and sharing the good news and supporting our community. So thank you so much for all of the partnership and generosity that we receive from the church.
It's our pleasure, and we look forward to a deepened partnership in the future.
Oh, thank you so much, Nancy.
Thanks, Pam.
Wow, another great interview with Nancy.
Yes, we're so grateful for all of the partners, and the use of their space really makes our Christmas program possible.
Are you kind of amazed about how fast the time has gone this morning?
I can't believe we're at the end of our program.
I know, the 3 hours just goes by so fast. But one of the most important parts of the program is when we get to do some of our draw winners and hear what that big announcement is at the end of our show today.
It's exciting.
Okay, so Briley Dieter is here again joining us at the table, and she's going to talk about our business challenge winner. And who is it again this year?
It is Kettlebells Niagara.
Woo!
Yes, her team are nothing short of incredible. Together they raised almost 13,000 pounds worth. They almost collected 13,000 pounds worth of food.
Wow.
So, yes, very impressive, amazing. They really champion our program and our mission. So yeah, they've been incredible to us.
They really do hit it out of the park every year.
Oh, they do, absolutely. Not only do we fill the bus with their donations, but they bring stuff to drop off leading up to this week as well, because they collect so much. It's just really incredible.
And another incredible community partner is Canadian Tire.
Yes.
And they have draws every year where you can drop by their store and you can purchase tickets. And Mackenzie Warren with Project Share is here. Yes. And she is going to, Riley's giving the old shake up. Who's our winner going to be? No looking. No looking. Who's our winner this year, Mackenzie?
John Marino.
Sean Marino.
Thank you, John Marino.
Congratulations. You are. Oh, and Brock is getting. Oh, there's Anthony from YourTV Niagara, beautifully demonstrating the Roomba this year. It's not just a Roomba; it's actually one of the new like AI Roombas.
Yes.
Like the really expensive kind. So congratulations, Sean.
Thank you, Canadian Tire, too.
Yes, Canadian Tire. Looks like you don't have to do any holiday cleaning this year. The Roomba's going to do it all for you. Beautiful job there, Anthony, on that Price is Right modeling happening. Thank you so much. You know what? This is one of the most impressive parts of our program, when we get to bring Chris back to the table and talk about those exciting numbers that they'll have to share with us.
Yes.
So.
$1,000.
Yay! $218,000. But Mackenzie, the giving doesn't stop at the end of the Good News Breakfast today.
Yes. So we always encourage donors and supporters of Project Share. They can continue giving to our Christmas program. So we're looking for new unwrapped toys. They can be dropped off at Project Share or at St. Andrew's United Church, where we're hosting our Christmas program. And you can also make donations online at projectshare.ca, or we do take walk-in donations of cash, check, and credit card on weekdays as well.
And Briley, people can still go and donate this afternoon.
Yes, so the fun doesn't stop here for Project Share today. We will be at No Frills from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. collecting monetary donations, toys, food, and then we will also be at Canadian Tire on Morrison from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. collecting toys and monetary donation and food as well. So if you couldn't stop by today, stop by and say hi, and yeah, we will see everyone there.
And your $218,000 is going to grow with these extra stops today.
Yes.
So hopefully maybe $250,000.
We have always just been so close, and I'm manifesting, I'm putting it into the universe, $250,000 today, hopefully. Yes.
So we're putting it out to you to help make this dream a reality. We got to make Briley's dream come true by hitting that $250,000, and you can do that by dropping by No Frills today and at Canadian Tire here in Niagara Falls. And do you think we could do this year? Last year there were some tears.
I know. I had a moment back there, but no one saw, so it doesn't count. Yeah.
You just can't look at Chris. That's
No,
the trick.
no, that's why they put it behind me, and then I actually was able to announce it this year.
You mentioned before you went from $10,000 to $30,000, and now consistently you're hitting the $200,000 mark.
Just amazing. It's. We started at the beginning of the week, say, are we gonna get there? We're gonna get there, and now we're there. And we had a lot of hands this week. We had Service Master come help us. Fallsview Casino crew came, and we had helps. A couple of people from Niagara Transit came, so there was a lot of people that handled a lot of stuff, and then it was $218,000 worth, so that's pretty impressive. And boy, we really do appreciate all the help.
Well, we always say that many hands make light work, right, Pam?
Absolutely. And you know what, Chris, I think this has really become a tradition for your family, and we're so grateful for everything you do to help lead up to today, and to all of our sponsors, YourTV for hosting our broadcast, Greg Frewin Theatrical Center for having us here today, the casino, as you mentioned, Service Master Niagara, who was our route sponsor, all of our wonderful breakfast sponsors who contributed. It is many hands that go into putting this event together, and we're so very grateful.
And one more person before we go is the Niagara Regional Police. Yes. They get as excited as we do. They think that they said that to me this morning, that they look so forward to coming to this. 2 cruisers full from front to back with food and all kinds of goodies. And they actually broke their all-time record today.
Oh, amazing!
With their weight.
Amazing.
They sit there and they write everything down, and Rihanna tallies it all up, and he was tickled pink that they actually broke the record. So, and that's actually from the shifts. I asked them how they get and it's from the shifts, and they donate, and that's how they get all that stuff. It's actually the police officers that do this, so I think that's something that very worthwhile and very, very giving of them. So it's a
We've
good
heard that a
thing.
few times today, Pam, that different organizations had set a mark and exceeded it. Double the donations. We set a goal. We exceeded that early in our campaigns. The giving, it really is the season for giving, Chris.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Niagara's blows my mind. I don't know. And the kids in the schools, I think one year we should bring the cameras with us and you actually see these kids. One of the schools, the kids were carrying stuff out to the bus. They were so excited, and they're singing carols, and they're just having a lot of fun. It's very uplifting at Christmas time.
Well, Pam, I had a lot of fun with you today. Thank you so much for joining me at the table.
Oh, thanks for having me. This was fun to be on this side of the table this year.
And it was really great that you all joined us too, live from the Greg Frewin Theatre. It's Lori Taraba and Pamela Sharp, the Executive Director of Project Share. And we can't thank you. This really wouldn't be possible with all your help. These donations come from the community, and they come from all our community partners. And you are the reason why someone will have something in their fridge for Christmas. There'll be something under the tree for their children, and that they know that they have somewhere to turn when they are in need. And we can't thank you enough. Again, if you want to donate, you can go to projectshare.ca. The donate button is there. You can also visit this afternoon at No Frills and Canadian Tire. And from the bottom of all of our hearts here, thank you so much for everything. And we can't wait to see you in 2024 to do it all again. Take care and have a happy holiday season. And for all of us at YourTV Niagara, see you next year. Bye, everyone.